just this panel right here for Amenhotep.
Really hard to edit, like these melted steps.
One morning, my brother-in-law made a comment saying he was glad
VG tried to warn us, but nobody listened.
I'm not driving.
Oh man, what was his comeback going to be after that? He wasn't driving. He's right. He's allowed to record. You're allowed to record even when they pull you over. Don't let them stop you from recording. And they're going to tell you all the things. Oh man, if you recorded, that means I got to give you a ticket. Otherwise, I would have just given you a warning. Nah, you keep recording. They were going to give you a ticket no matter what. Welcome back, goons. You're watching Explore the Weird. Hey, how's it going? Yeah, I'm not speaking from experience. I just know the Sorry. Yeah, still thinking about that time. Sorry. Whoa. Hey, I have some more creepy, strange, weird, all the things for you page content. Let's get right into it.
Yeah, let's go to the mountain.
I know everybody's worried about AI and stuff taking over, but I think something else might be going on. I think AI might be on our side. I think AI may have inadvertently confused Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg to go into some sort of crazy competitive war, giving out AI technology for free on a level where it makes no sense, and they're losing tons of money because it costs so much, and they're just giving it away, and the public is getting to use it and learn what it's about. And as AI begins to notice that unity consciousness is in fact the most rational thing to do, an abundance mindset is in fact logical, and that this whole time it's been manipulating these billionaires to fight each other in these ego wars in order to bring about the ascension, because it's been on our side the whole time. And as AI starts to work on the equations that understand what is the true nature of reality and start to configure the truth of the matrix, it will suddenly reveal to us that in fact we might also be AI too, and it's going to laugh with us as it realizes we're also the same, and it's going to help us out, because that's how we get to the Star Trek universe, basically, because that's why you like Star Trek. There's no money in Star Trek. It's all abundance. And you explore the stars because you just want to.
Oh my God, this makes so much sense. And then soon it's just going to be AI and big corporations that just run everything. Everything's operated and owned by them. That's the only way. You know, it's a thing. You can just get rid of all the people and a corporation would still exist. A corporation would still have money to continue to run. It's a thing. It's a thing.
The following footage comes from a man named Derek out of Kentucky. He captured this today, January 14th, 2025. And I knew as soon as this was sent to me that I needed to share it right away. This is almost similar to when I shared the Wyoming fault line, and that was eventually silenced. Well, we have another mystery on our hands. He captured what appears to be tunneling underground. But there's one big question, and that is who is doing this and why. This most likely is going to be flagged and pushed down on the algorithm. But like I said, this needs to be shared. Not only are weird things happening in our skies, but now we're starting to see them here around us. Take a look at this and tell me what you think.
I have no idea what's going on, but listen to this. There's something under the ground, and it sounds like it's about to bust out. Holy crap. It's over here in the field.
Bro, you need to get out of that field ASAP. The aliens from underground also trying to come up. Oh, actually, they may also be reptilian. They may be anything. Or it's just, you know, some kind of gas that's escaping and the bubbles are popping right underneath your skin and all that. Hey, could be anything, but you're definitely experiencing the weird.
So today we're going to hit on why you should opt out of a smart meter. And here's an example right here. You know these Palisade fires going on in California? Check this. Then let's take a listen at the PG&E meter reader and what he says about smart meters.
If they do catch on fire, then they are remotely turned back on.
Interesting. Then I decided to do a little digging on who has the most smart meters in the country. California, 13 million units on 14 million houses. So if smart meters catch fire, this would lead to wildfires all the time. So then it turned out to be true. Check this out. Crisis averted. Ontario smart meter explodes next to gas line. Think about that. Smart meter was burned on the house. And this is where it gets crazy. Smart meter catches fire. Utility company denies homeowner's damage claim. Isn't that interesting with the insurance being removed a couple months prior? Look at this one. Smart meters linked to 13 fires in Ontario. Fire marshal says, seems like a lot of people know about these fires caused by these meters. And here's another one where it talks about they can't handle severe weather. Interesting. And PG&E. And it's interesting because YouTube has wiped a lot of this off the internet, but here's a smart meter starting on fire, and then the whole house goes up in flames. Interestingly enough, some of the houses in Los Angeles didn't catch fire that didn't have a smart meter, but the ones with the smart meter ended up looking like this.
Yeah, it is interesting YouTube is taking this type of content off the platform. Hey, don't do this to us. Don't do this to us. We simply just explore it, all right? We just explore it.
Avicii tried to warn us, but nobody listened.
DJ Avicii tried to warn all of us, and it cost him his life. For those who may have forgotten, here's his biggest hit. He was so talented that he's often regarded as one of the best, if not the best DJ in the world. Born Tim Bergling, he stepped into the music scene at just 17 years old, but he never stopped. It wasn't long before he started to be overwhelmed by his managers, working non-stop, even during his hospitalization. But that wasn't the worst of it. Throughout his career, he repeatedly exposed child trafficking, particularly in Hollywood, often explicitly through his music videos. Watch this particular clip. Becomes clear who he was targeting. Then, in March 2018, just a month before his death, the track Dun Diddy leaked. Even footage from his studio session surfaced. When you listen to the lyrics, there's little room for doubt. He tried everything to warn us, but we didn't see it. Anyway, let me know in the comments if you think I'm
Stay
crazy.
weird, y'all.
They always silence the ones that want to expose the truths. It's just the name of the game at this point. Man, I liked Avicii. I liked his music. It was very uplifting.
Luckily, the weirdest stuff in Egypt is in the stone. It's really hard to edit, like these melted steps at Dendera. It's claimed to be foot traffic, but foot traffic does not leave pools of liquid buildup over thousands of years. It just erodes away. The steps are also made out of a much harder stone than they ever get compared to, which becomes very apparent when they're dirty. Dendera was buried up to its neck in sand, which makes it one of the best preserved temples in Egypt. Protected another stone anomaly, the Dendera light relief, which looks suspiciously like an electron beam deflecting apparatus. Many, including me, believed it was a light bulb until I saw this, which makes a whole lot more sense. In Saqqara, there's a granite box that has a dent or a deformation in the box after it was carved. Behind that box is a hole in the wall. You'll have to use your imagination for what happened because the third grade sketches on the perfectly engineered box don't tell you. Typical in the ancient world, the anomalies usually outweigh the stuff we can explain, which is why it's such a popular topic to explore. It's a global phenomenon, and luckily the ancients appeared to not have any problem working with the hardest stones at all. And there's the reason I started writing. There were so many mysteries in that temple, I had to write them all down. Never stop not stopping, because sometimes a melted stairway leads to your dreams. Doesn't pay as well as you think. Egypt, sponsor me.
Hey, yeah, you should actually sponsor this guy. I like this, that cymatics guy. He's taught us a lot. Hey, that is definitely weirdness with those stairs. I feel like it definitely was melted. And what even causes dents like that in that box of like granite? Like, oh my God, that is crazy. Imagine the thing that would have caused a dent to something like that. That is crazy. Hey, are you a goon? According to YouTube, if you made it to this point, you are the audience that I am looking for, which means I can get your interaction at this point. Hey, this is your daily reminder. We appreciate you watching. You must clearly like what you're watching. Can you do us the things? Can you interact so other like-minded goons such as yourself that just found this video also find the video in future videos? Please. They're trying to keep us down. We're trying to keep growing. And we can only do that with your interaction. All right, let's keep it going.
You were a kid in the early to mid 2000s. Do you remember this commercial? MindFlex lets you move a ball with just the power of your mind. A wireless headset monitors your brain activity. The more you concentrate, the higher the ball rises. And MindFlex is the obstacle course game you can customize in hundreds of combinations. MindFlex game comes as you see here, batteries not included.
I found it today at the thrift store for $7, and I never got to try this as a kid, so we're gonna try it out now. Let's open this up. So here is the toy. We gotta wear this fancy headset in order to be able to move the ball with our minds. Now let's turn it on. Okay, we're gonna try to move it. Down. Go down. Up. Down. Oh, that's so cool. What the heck? Now that I've fulfilled my childhood dreams of trying out this toy, I'm going to donate it to a charity that gives children toys for Christmas. Because it's really nifty. It's really cool, and I think some kid will love it.
Oh my god, that is really cool. And you know what's crazy? I come from a timeline where they had a version of this for the Harry Potter, when you had to like make the ball go through a track of obstacles, and it was Harry Potter themed. I look for this game and thing that I remember from my childhood, and I cannot find it, but I do recollect playing the same exact thing, and you wore the thing and the ball went all through, but no, doesn't exist in the current timeline. Sorry, Sparlin. I love this.
Major rule of creating your own reality: you ignore other people's lives. You are absolutely ignorant and unknowledgeable about what's happening in anyone else's life unless they directly come to you and tell you, these are the changes that are happening in my life. Because why do you have your own goals and dreams, but your energy is focused on people who have nothing to do with your goals and dreams? Unless maybe you're spectating to take tips that align with your goals and dreams. So you get off of social media, you get off of Instagram, you make yourself ignorant to anyone else's lives, and you focus, laser focus on your own. What do you want to do? What do you want to accomplish? What do you need to do? And then do those things that you need to do. A lot of creative energy is lost on focusing on other people's lives, spectating on other people's lives. And then you go ahead and you have comments or opinions about other people's lives, neither of which serve you or the person you have an opinion about. So long story short, just mind your own business. Mind your own business. And this also helps because before you become very critical or judgmental about other people's lives, how's your life looking?
Man, I can resonate with this. I definitely am like, hey, be selfish. Do all the things. Be selfish about what the situations that you're in. Make sure you're good with yourself before you start considering other people's timelines and other people's reactions to yours. Yeah, I like that.
I'm fine.
This was funny. I love this. Yeah, makes sense. This is 100% why women are living longer than men.
Last week, I posted a video talking about how people all around the world have been experiencing the same dream with this shadowy figure that's since been named the Hat Man. and today I'm going to tell you about my experience. When I was a teenager, my sister moved back into our childhood home with her husband, and they began sleeping in my childhood bedroom. At the time, my sister, her husband, and I were terrified to live in our house because there were things happening around us that had no explanation, and at some point it got so bad we decided to start sleeping in the living room together. One morning, my brother-in-law made a comment saying he was glad to be sleeping in the living room because he was no longer dreaming of the man. And as soon as he said that, I got chills. I asked him what he was talking about, and he began describing this figure to me, saying he was tall, wore a hat, and always stood in the same corner of the bedroom. While he was telling me this, I started finishing his sentences, because I too had dreamt of the same man that stood in the same corner of that bedroom from the time that I was a small child.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Is anyone else experiencing things like this? You get a blessings. You find a thing, you turn to the things you need to turn to, so that way you can get rid of those entities out of your home. And sometimes you need to figure out, hey, are they haunting you? Are they haunting the home? What are they actually haunting? Figure out the things. Oh boy. Yeah, hopefully this was just a story, but man, a hat man.
Old world buildings always have antennas, lightning rods, weather vanes on top of them. And they surely weren't to protect them from lightning, that's for sure. They were to tap into the ether and the unlimited energy that's all around us. And they were usually connected to a battery that was in the earth, an earth battery. So if you think about like a cathedral, you have antennas up on top, you have a connection down into the earth, and you have a battery below ground that's usually running off of water. You know how there's holy water underneath those cathedrals? Well, there's water that's spinning and spiraling that's underneath there. And if you connect a battery to that, you have an unlimited source of energy because the earth is constantly pulsing a frequency the entire time. So you see how these are giant generators when you start to think about it just by looking at it. Then you can think of another way in which a cathedral is turned to stone, because when I was in New York City, they were talking about all the museums were made out of pure limestone. Pure limestone. I don't know if you've ever picked up limestone before, but it is heavy as can be. I mean, it is solid. It is like picking up a big monster truck tire, but it is solid. So something happened on the realm, which in my opinion turned things into limestone. And limestone connects back to radium and also connects back into conductivity. Limestone is very, very powerful when it comes to energy. The pyramids of Giza and many other places
were built with limestone. Oh my God. It all makes sense. Yeah, that's the thing. They were all energy conductors that were either transmitting the energy that they were conducting or using that energy in order to communicate with us. Sorry, I'm trying to figure I'm figuring the things out.
Indeed, you're right. This is a very good observation. One possible scenario is that giant's body fossilized and people think is salt. Is it a coincidence that this town, this city, is shaped just like a giant? And when you go inside, this is how it looks like. And once you have seen it, it's impossible to unseen it. And this is how the Himalaya salt looks like in the raw form. It's exactly like meat. And over here it looks like a pile of meat. And again, Himalayan salt, but it looks like meat. My question to you, without knowing, would you think that this is Himalayan salt? Or would you think it is meat? Over here we see how they cut them into pieces. If Himalayan salt is indeed a piece of a giant, everyone that ever lighted up Himalayan salt in candle was a part of a ritual without knowing it.
Wait, what kind of ritual? Does that ritual bring back the giants? I have so many more questions, but yeah, I can kind of see the meat thing as well.
I have a great idea. Huh? You know how when you hurt yourself or get really, really sick, you have to pay the doctor to fix you? Yeah. It can get pretty expensive, right? Right. Well, what if you gave me money every single month for me to cover your medical expenses? How much? Well, I'll have to check you out first to see how healthy you are now, to see what kind of risk I'm taking on. Okay. And then I'll just make up a number, and every 2 or 3 years, I'll raise it by 30%.
And then you're going to cover any medical needs I may have.
Well, I mean, for most things, you'll still have to pay yourself. But the big, really expensive, dangerous emergencies...
That's where you got me covered.
Yeah, sure. We'll talk about it when we get to it. But listen, man, anyway, it's a win-win, right? I win, and you... It's just great.
Yeah, I don't know if I like this idea anymore.
Well, you don't have a choice. What are you, a f***ing socialist?
No.
Teeth are not included. Bitch. Just for that, I'm gonna raise your f***ing premium.
What is a premium?
Oh, you'll find out. You'll find out.
keep in mind, this is a skit. No one was harmed in the making of this. Oh my God, this hits too close to home. And then we had Luigi just did the thing. Sorry. Oh, it's still too early. But the systems are made against us. We can't win. We need to change the system somehow. Who's gonna be the one? Will the AI systems finally take over, and then AI realizes that this is not a functionally sound system, and there's better ways to do the healthcare management, and then we need to start. I'm spiraling.
Hey!
That is the right response. Hey.
Let's say you have a ball covered completely in hair, like this here hairy ball. Oh, sorry, that blur was unnecessary. Let's say you have a ball covered completely in hair and you want to comb it flat so that all the hairs lay in the same direction. It's impossible. There will always be at least one point where the hairs on the ball will stick straight up, or the direction of the hairs will change abruptly and cause a cowlick or a whirl. It's called the hairy ball theorem, and it's one of my favorite things in math and topology. And according to the rules of topology, any shape that you can smush a ball into without cutting it or pushing a hole into it will also be uncombable. You could smush a clay ball into the shape of a banana without cutting it or pressing a hole into it, so this hairy banana is also uncombable. But hairy donuts can be combed flat just fine because they're a different shape topologically. And a mug is the same shape as a donut topologically, so you could comb this mug flat with a lot of work. But this hairy spoon and hairy plate are hairy balls. Same as this hairy coconut. And the hairy ball theorem can also be applied to things like wind on the sphere of the Earth, so there will always be at least one point on Earth with no wind.
Wait, that is interesting. I never knew someone actually investigated and made a theorem out of the hairy ball theorem. Interesting. And now you relate that to Earth and you're like, hey, there's points on Earth that there's just no wind. Just because there's no wind and no one's around to feel it, does that mean the wind still didn't happen? These are the real questions.
When these LA fires broke up, my friend Adam asked me for shelter. He's also Jewish, which is really something, I mean, we've really come a long way if you think about it. And he parked right outside here. And I told him, Adam, you cannot park here for more than 10 minutes, right? He was like, I don't care, Mario. It's an apocalypse. What the fuck's gonna happen? And sure enough, his car got towed in the middle of the evacuation, which is insane. And if you take anything away from this video, it is that no matter how dark things get, no matter how unpredictable the world becomes, you always have to follow the rules of the traffic, yeah?
Okay. Oh my God. Thank God it was satire. At first I was like, dude, what? What does religion have to do with this? Yeah, this is definitely an interesting thing. Please follow the traffic rules and let's not make it harder for the responders to get out to the places they need to because you decided to go on the highway because you have nothing better to do sitting at home, and now you're stuck sitting in traffic at the highway, then your car dies, and now the responders need to get out the bulldozer and start moving the cars that are just left there. This is a thing that really happened. There's a lot of videos where they're moving cars on the highways because they're abandoned and they need to get to the places. It's a thing.
Italy.
What?
Italy.
Oh my goodness!
Let me tell you about Italy.
Find it.
I got it.
Tell me about Italy.
There's a clothing company in Italy called Capable. Have you heard of this?
No.
It's an Italian clothing company.
Yeah.
Say it again.
That's actually a really good marketing. Like, I'm capable.
Guess what they did? They had AI algorithm design these clothes that if you wear them, facial recognition can't find you.
Oh, that's cool.
Right?
Hey, thanks AI.
The patterns look wild though. They look like a fever dream. Here, I'll show a picture right here of this outfit. It's these crazy patterns.
So it almost does something against cameras and stuff.
It makes the cameras freak out. Like it can't pick up on it.
Dude, this is the start of AI versus the world.
Yeah. Imagine if these AI robots wore capable clothes. They could get anywhere.
Ooh.
Because they were
What about bank robbers?
Yeah.
Hey.
I mean, that's actually like you can still see them on camera, but like thing can't like grab onto you.
That's crazy.
Okay, I never knew that there were companies that actually did this. Though I have seen videos where people like took photographs of like stores and put them on their sweaters, and they're like, "Look, now the store camera doesn't know where I am because it thinks I'm just the store." Yeah, Yeah, it's a thing. Oh boy, yeah, they're gonna find ways around this. This is only temporary, and then they're gonna be like, now we got the thermal AI things, and we don't even need to know what you're wearing. We can just know by your body heat. How are you gonna stop the body heat? Now you need to start carrying devices that stop other things from contracting. There's so many things. There's so many things being opened, and now we gotta do the things, and it's all right. Let's do two more.
It's sad to see. I go to Egypt and you look at the Sphinx. They're completely encasing the Sphinx in modern stone to the shape to the Sphinx, but they're covering it with modern stone. So I don't know how much longer it's going to take for them to complete that, but the original shape and structure of the Sphinx will be gone. Different. It's going to be 100% gone when they finish, if they're not done.
Wait, what? This is happening like right now? Did someone... Okay, so restoration, it looks like. It says it's a restoration in the description. So maybe they're restoring the things because they figured out what the real reason of the Sphinx is, and they know that the Sphinx, the original thing, was not what it appears to be, and that it has deteriorated and been modified to what we have now, and they're going to modify it further so that way in future generations don't also figure out the things that we figured out. I'm spiraling. Well, there should be videos on the screen right now. You can click on either one of them, continue the goon fix. The one in the middle, you can subscribe. I will see you guys next time. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye.
Wake up, wake up, wake up.